Hey people, it's Nayastoki. Now this is a truly extraordinary story, and I'd like to thank a page called Black Jesus for posting about this, so that's how I heard about it. So the source I'm using is runningtoharvard.com, and I think if this is true, it is run by the descendants of Mr. Kelley Dolphous Stroud. And I'm going to call this a Black Heroes video because this is nothing short of heroic. So here we go. Kelley Dolphous Stroud. As I trace the contours of my own lineage, I can't help but be astounded by the brilliance that graces our family tree. As a man who has himself sparred the gravitational force of societal expectations in the pursuit of athletic and scholarly greatness, I hold in the highest esteem the story of my great-uncle Dolphous, a figure whose life and struggles are as relevant now as they were in the sepia-toned epoch of his existence. Kelley Dolphous Stroud, the pulsing heart of my family's legacy, left a narrative that echoes through the annals of our history with the insistence of an unbroken anthem. Born the third of 11 children, the Colorado Springs native was both a scholar and an athlete, distinguishing himself on the track and in the classroom at a time when the world conspired to limit the reach of his ambitions. The ground beneath him might have been rugged, fraught with jagged stones of prejudice and discrimination, but Dolphous never faltered. He ran, his spirit as swift and enduring as the wind slicing through the Colorado Rockies, his intellect as sharp as the peaks that towered over the landscape of his youth. And he ran well, shattering records and expectations alike, even as the racist elements of society attempted to shackle his potential. From his beginnings at Bristol School to Colorado Springs High School, Dolphous blazed trails of excellence that scorched the frost of societal constraints placed upon him. Even though his own school denied him the right to run on the track team, Dolphous ran the Pikes Peak Marathon and crushed the standing record. And in 1928, he won the Denver Olympic tryout race, a victory that promised him a chance at the Olympic trials in Boston, a victory that, in a world free of prejudice, should have propelled him towards global recognition. But the world was not free of prejudice. Despite qualifying for the Olympic trials, he was denied funding to travel to Boston. Yet Dolphous was undeterred. His spirit, unfettered by the fetters of racism, propelled him to hitchhike almost 2,000 miles to Boston. He arrived just hours before the race, his body racked by exhaustion and hunger, his pockets bereft of everything but the most meager of change. He collapsed during the race, defeated not by a lack of skill, but by the insidious poison of prejudice. Yet even in the moment of apparent defeat, Dolphous stood victorious. His journey, his struggle was not in vain. It was a beacon, a clarion call to others like him, individuals born under the shadow of discrimination, signaling that no hurdle was insurmountable, no ambition unattainable. Dolphous returned to Colorado College, his spirit undiminished, his resolve unbroken. He graduated with a degree in political science, receiving all A's except in one class. The only black student at CC until his sister Effie joined him. He became the first black CC student to be elected to Phi Beta Kappa, an accolade that echoed his unyielding pursuit of excellence. The world might sort of chain him to limit his aspirations, but Dolphous was a free spirit, unshackled by the bonds of bigotry. His story wasn't just that of a scholar or an athlete. It was a story of an indomitable spirit that refused to bow to the crushing weight of discrimination. Dolphous chose to see life as a series of experiences that nurtured the fullest development of his potential, rather than a battleground of racial prejudice. The echoes of Dolphous's journey reverberate through the chambers of my own aspiration. As a scholar-athlete who trained and competed with the Olympic gymnasts, as a captain and MVP of the men's NCAA gymnastics team, I am acutely aware of the parallels that thread our stories together. The essence of Dolphous's life resonates with my own. His tenacity, resilience, and relentless pursuit of excellence light my path, illuminating my journey as an athlete, a scholar, and a human being. Through Dolphous's life, I've learned that one's footlocker may contain different experiences. It's how we choose to unpack and utilize those experiences that truly define us. Each one of us, regardless of our skin color or societal status, is capable of achieving greatness. In the grand opera of life, Dolphous wasn't just a player, he was a maestro, the virtuoso who orchestrated a symphony of defiance against the discordant notes of racial prejudice. He created a masterpiece of resilience, a composition that continues to inspire individuals worldwide. As I step into the gymnastics hall or walk into an academic seminar, I carry Dolphous's legacy within me. His journey is a testament to the indomitable human spirit, a beacon for all those who dare to dream and strive, despite the shadows of adversity looming over them. So here's to Kelley Dolphous Stroud, a scholar, an athlete, a trailblazer. He is to my great-uncle Dolphous, whose spirit runs unbroken, whose legacy leaps unbound, inspiring generations of the rhythm of his enduring journey. And one thing when I read about this, I thought it was incredible because it reminded me of Forrest Gump. in the scene right where Forrest runs across the country, inspiring millions. And one of the sources I was reading from Black Jesus talked about how people were inspired by his story as he made national newspapers all across the way, people trying to help him as he went away. And that's just how Forrest Gump. But the thing is, this is a real life Forrest Gump. And I don't want to mean this in any way type of a diss. He's clearly an excellent man. It's just that Forrest Gump in the movie, he inspired people by running, by refusing to give up, and the people started following him. And this is what Black Americans are. Whatever Tijuana Black American or FBA, whatever you want to call him, can be said about them, they are, when people make movies depicting white heroes, black people have been the real heroes, pushing forward, fighting, doing seemingly impossible things. And even though it wasn't a Hollywood ending that he got there exhausted and wasn't able to finish the race, you know what? The fact that he got there when so many people said that he had no right to even be there was a miracle. He refused to take their nose and say, I'm just gonna give up and go home and just sit there while the white players go and compete and try to achieve their dreams. I'm gonna fight, I'm gonna go there, and I'm gonna be there on the national stage. Just like Jesse Owens, he would have been what Jesse Owens was if he had actually been allowed to just get there himself. But imagine that, he would have showed up all the white runners and in front of the global stage. He would have been Jesse Owens before Jesse Owens, humiliating them and showing all their racial superiority that it wasn't nothing. And I want to say this running to Harvard, which was done by his descendants, it shows the importance of telling black people stories. Because I was looking through sources and I found one, I think it was Colorado history or something like that. I'll look it up. But the way they ended it was that, he failed and he went back home, not achieving his dream. Like, no. Just because he didn't win didn't mean that he didn't live a fulfilled life. He had a family, he had a business, he graduated college, he had a successful life, he had children. Who are they to say that just because he didn't win the rigged game, literal rigged game of the track, that he wasn't a success, he wasn't a hero, he wasn't a model for the black youth to follow. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. Please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.